This winter could be the strangest in over a decade. And if you're not prepared, you might not just be cold, you could be in danger. Stick around because in the next 10 minutes, I'll show you 10 critical items you must have at home. Most people don't know about number 7, and it could save your life. Hey everyone! I've spent the last week diving into NOAA's latest winter forecast, emergency preparedness reports, and real-time data from power companies and grocery suppliers across the U.S. What I found is shocking: extreme temperature swings, supply chain shortages, and a surge in winter storm-related outages we haven't seen since 2014. In this video, I'm breaking down the 10 critical items you absolutely need at home to survive winter 2025. This isn't just about staying warm, it's about staying safe, fed, and connected when the grid fails. And before we start, drop a comment right now. Have you noticed anything weird lately? Empty shelves? Price hikes on basics like canned food or propane? Let me know your observation, because what you're seeing might be the first sign this winter is already starting to break the rules. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Item 10, long shelf life comfort food. We're starting with the most important thing: food that doesn't suck, because when the power's out, the heat's off, and it's 10 below outside, you're not going to want to eat cold beans straight from the can, unless, of course, they're really good beans. And let's be real, nobody wants to survive on sad ramen and peanut butter sandwiches for a week, even if you do have 10 jars of it. This isn't about just filling your stomach, it's about keeping your soul warm. It's about that first bite of something that tastes like home, even when everything else feels like chaos. Think about vacuum-sealed mac and cheese that you can heat up with just hot water, or shelf-stable soups with real carrots, celery, and potatoes. None of that weird mystery mush stuff. Toss in some freeze-dried chili that actually has chunks of beef and beans, and hear me out: instant mashed potatoes that actually taste like mashed potatoes. I found a brand that uses real butter and milk powder. You just add water, stir, and boom. Creamy, fluffy, comfort in a bowl magic. I ate it during a blackout last winter, and my kids asked if we were camping indoors again next week. Item 9, portable power bank with solar option. Okay, this little guy, it's small, it's quiet, and it might just save your life, or at the very least, keep you from losing your mind during a blackout. When the power goes out, the first thing most of us reach for is our phone. But here's the problem. No power at home usually means your phone battery drops fast, and once it's dead, you're cut off. No flashlight, no weather alerts, no way to call family or 911. That's scary, and it happens faster than you think. A portable power bank is like a backup battery for your phone. Get one with at least 20,000 mAh. That's enough to charge your phone 4 or 5 times. Some can even power a small tablet or a flashlight. Look for one with a solar panel on the back. It won't charge it in 5 minutes, but on a sunny winter day, it can give you just enough juice to send a text or check the forecast. It's not magic, it's peace of mind. And don't worry, you don't need to spend a fortune. You can find reliable ones under $50. That's less than a pizza and a movie night. I bought mine at Target, and I keep it right next to my coffee maker. Every time I brew my morning cup, I plug it in. That way, it's always charged and ready. No stress, no last-minute panic. Out of sight, out of mind, until the lights go out. Then, it's your new best friend. For my fellow foodies, don't forget the gourmet stuff. There are freeze-dried meals now with truffle oil, wild mushrooms, even garlic-infused olive oil. I had one during a storm and honestly forgot I was eating from a pouch. Felt like I was at a cozy cabin restaurant, not my living room with a headlamp on. Here's a pro tip: rotate these meals in and out of your pantry. Eat them on regular nights. That way you're always stocked, never stuck with expired food, and honestly, you're just eating better all the time. Item 8. Thermal curtains, or DIY draft stoppers. Let's talk about something most people ignore. They're windows. Yeah, those innocent-looking panes that turn into ice caves when winter hits. You can crank the heat all you want, but if your windows are leaking cold air like a broken faucet, you're just warming the outdoors. And your bill? It's going to look like a ransom note. Thermal curtains are a total game changer. They look like regular curtains. No weird bunker vibes. But they're lined with a special layer that blocks cold air. I put them up last winter, and my living room went from Arctic tundra to cozy cabin overnight. No joke. My dog stopped hiding under the couch. You can find a good pair for around $20. That's cheaper than one heating bill. Hang them at night, close them tight, and feel the difference by morning. It's like giving your house a blanket. And if you're feeling crafty or just don't want to spend a dime, go full grandma mode. She knew what was up. Take an old sock or a small fabric tube, stuff it with rice or dried beans, sew it shut, and boom, you've got a draft stopper. Lay it at the bottom of any door where cold air sneaks in. Works like a charm. I made one with my kid using a red and green striped sock. We call it Chilly Willy's Nemesis. It sits at the back door like a bouncer. Cold air tries to come in, not today. The best part, these fixes don't scream prepper. They're quiet, simple, and actually make your home more comfortable year-round. Plus, you'll sleep better knowing you're not losing heat or money through a gap that's basically a winter vampire sucking your warmth. Item 7, multi-fuel camp stove. Imagine this. The power's out, the oven's dead, your microwave is just a fancy paperweight, and you're staring into the fridge at a half-frozen lasagna, wondering if eating it cold counts as survival cuisine. That's where this little beast comes in. The multi-fuel camp stove. It's not just for camping trips or bearded guys in the woods. It's for you in your kitchen on a freezing night when the only thing standing between you and hunger is a working flame. This stove runs on more than just propane. That's the key. It can use white gas, kerosene, even alcohol fuel. Why does that matter? Because during a long storm, stores run out of propane fast. But if you've got one of these stoves, you've got options. You're not stuck. I used mine during a 3-day outage last winter, set it up on the counter, cracked a window for airflow, and cooked a full meal. Scrambled eggs, toast, even coffee. My kids thought we were on vacation. My dog kept trying to lick the pan. And for all my fellow foodies out there, this is your chance to keep eating real food. No cold beans from a can, unless you want them. You can simmer soup, fry up potatoes, or make pancakes with that golden crisp around the edges. It's not survival food. It's comfort food, even when the world's falling apart outside. Look, safety first. Never use it in a closed room. Ventilation is a must. But with a little care, it's safer than fumbling with candles or risking a fire with makeshift setups. Most of these stoves cost between $50 and $80, less than a single restaurant meal for 4. And it folds up small. Tuck it in a closet, under the bed, even in the garage. When the cold hits and the power fails, this won't just keep you fed. It'll keep you feeling human. Item 6. Warm layering basics, not just sweaters. Let's be real. When the heat goes out, your favorite hoodie won't save you. And no, wrapping yourself in a blanket like a burrito might feel cozy, but it's not a long-term plan. If you're stuck in a freezing house for hours, or even days, you need to think like a hiker, not a couch potato. The secret? Layering. Not just throwing on 3 sweatshirts, but wearing the right kinds of clothes in the right order. Start with a thermal base layer. That's tight-fitting, moisture-wicking fabric that goes right against your skin. It keeps sweat away so you don't get cold and clammy. Think of it like underwear, but for survival. On top of that, add a mid-layer, a fleece jacket, a wool sweater, even a down vest. This is where the real warmth comes in. It traps heat like a sleeping bag for your torso. And finally, a windproof outer layer, even if you're indoors. Drafts sneak in everywhere, and wind chill isn't just for outside. And don't forget your head, hands, and feet. You lose a ton of heat through your scalp, so wear a beanie. I wear mine all day during cold snaps. My wife says I look like a ski instructor from 1987. I say I look like a genius who's not freezing. Gloves or thermal socks inside the house? Absolutely. Cold floors are the worst. I keep a few pairs by the bed so I don't turn into a hopping mess every time I get up at night. The best part? You don't need to spend hundreds. Base layers are under $20 online. Fleece jackets go on sale every fall. And if you've got old ski gear from the 90s, dust it off and it still works. This isn't about looking tough. It's about staying warm without draining your electric bill or begging the thermostat to do the impossible. When the house is colder than your fridge, these layers become your personal heating system. And trust me, once you try it, you'll wonder why you ever suffered in flannel alone. Item 5. Water storage and purification. Most people prep for winter by thinking about food, heat, and flashlights. But here's something that gets ignored until it's too late. Water. Not just for drinking, but for cooking, cleaning, even brushing your teeth. When the power goes out, the pumps stop. When pipes freeze, they burst. And suddenly that tap you've always trusted, dry as a bone. And it's not just about no water coming out. Sometimes it's about water you can't trust. During storms, treatment plants can fail. Contamination happens. You might turn the knob and get brown, smelly liquid that looks like swamp tea. And no, boiling it isn't always enough if chemicals or heavy metals are involved. So here's the move. Store water before you need it. Aim for 1 gallon per person per day. That covers drinking and basic hygiene. For a family of 4, that's 12 gallons for just 3 days. Doesn't sound like much, but when the store's sold out and the roads are icy, every drop counts. You don't need fancy containers. Clean plastic jugs from juice or soda work great. So do food-grade water barrels from hardware stores. Label them, keep them in a cool, dark place, and rotate every 6 months. Drink the old ones. Refill with fresh. Bonus, you'll always have water for camping or emergencies. But what if you run out? That's where water purification comes in. A simple filter straw lets you drink from streams, melted snow, or even bathroom sink tanks. Yes, really, the water in the tank, not the bowl. Or get purification drops. Tiny bottles that kill bacteria and viruses in minutes. I keep a pack in my emergency kit and even toss one in my car. Some portable filters look like water bottles. You fill them from a puddle, squeeze, and boom, safe water. Feels like magic, but it's science. And don't forget pets. They need clean water too. One winter, my dog refused to drink from a bowl I filled with suspect water. She just stared at me like, "You think I was born yesterday?" Lesson learned. Water isn't just important, it's non-negotiable. You can last weeks without food, but only a few days without water. So while everyone's stocking up on ramen, be the one who's ready with the most basic, most overlooked survival tool: clean, safe, drinkable water. Item 4, battery-powered radio. You know that feeling when your phone dies and you're suddenly cut off from everything? No texts, no weather updates, no way to know if help is coming. Now imagine that during a blizzard in the dark with zero cell service. That's not just annoying, it's dangerous. That's where the battery-powered radio comes in. A forgotten hero from a simpler time. Before smartphones, before Wi-Fi, we had these little boxes that somehow always knew what was going on. And guess what? They still work. Even when the grid is down, the clouds are thick, and your phone is a cold brick in your hand. Get one that runs on batteries, AA or AA, and ideally one with a hand crank or solar panel. Some even double as flashlights or phone chargers. I've got one that I bought for $25 at Walmart. It plays NOAA weather alerts automatically, so I don't have to remember to turn it on. If a storm is coming, it tells me, like a tiny beeping guardian angel. I keep mine on the kitchen counter next to the coffee tin. It looks like something my dad would have used on a fishing trip. My kids call it the dinosaur radio. But when the power went out last winter, it was the only thing giving us updates, telling us when the roads would be clear, when the power company said they'd arrive, even when schools were closed. And here's the nostalgic part. It plays AM/FM. So while we waited, we listened to a local folk music show, sipped hot chocolate, and pretended we were living in 1978. My daughter said it was the best blackout ever. That's the magic. It keeps you informed and calm. In a world of constant pings and notifications, this old school device brings something rare. Reliability. No password, no update, no app crash. Just turn it on, tune in, and know what's happening. When everything else fails, this little radio might be the only voice you hear. And sometimes, that's exactly what you need. Item 3, LED lanterns. Better than candles. Let's talk about light. Real, safe, dependable light. When the power goes out, most people grab candles. They're romantic, they flicker nicely, they make your dinner look like a scene from a period drama. But here's the truth. Candles are a fire hazard, they don't give off much light, and if you fall asleep, that cozy glow could turn into a house fire before sunrise. That's why you need an LED lantern. Bright, battery-powered, and built to last. These aren't the flimsy flashlights that die after 20 minutes. These are rugged, long-lasting lights that can illuminate your whole kitchen, basement, or living room with a soft, even glow. Some even have dimmer settings, so you're not blasting like it's halftime at the Super Bowl. I got mine for under $30, and it runs for over 50 hours on 4 AAAs. One night during a storm, I hung it from a ceiling hook, and suddenly the whole room felt normal. My kids could do homework, I could find my coffee mug, my dog stopped bumping into walls. It was a small thing, but it made a huge difference. Many models are also USB rechargeable or come with a hand crank. Some even have built-in solar panels. Charge it in the window during the day, use it all night. No waste, no risk, no melted wax on your grandma's table. And unlike candles, LED lanterns don't produce heat or smoke. You can leave them on safely while you sleep or step away. No babysitting, no fear. I keep one in the kitchen, one in the bedroom, and one in the car because blackouts don't just happen at home. Ever tried finding your keys in a pitch black parking lot during a snowstorm? Not fun. These lanterns aren't just tools. They're peace of mind. They turn panic into calm, darkness into comfort. And when the world outside is frozen and pitch black, having a steady, safe light inside, that's not just practical. It feels like hope. Item 2, dry toilet or waste bags. Gross but critical. All right, we're going there. Because if no one talks about it now, you'll be desperately Googling it later in the dark while holding a plastic grocery bag. When the power goes out, most people think about food, heat, and light. But here's the thing no one wants to say. Your toilet might stop working. If the power's out for more than a few hours, your home's plumbing could fail. No electricity means no pump. Frozen pipes mean no water to flush, and if you live in an apartment or a basement unit, one backup in the sewer line could turn your bathroom into a biohazard zone. So what do? Hold it? Use a bucket and pray? Yeah, not exactly sustainable. That's where a portable dry toilet or emergency waste bags come in. These aren't fancy, but they work. You can buy a compact camping toilet for under $60. It looks like a regular seat, has a removable tank, and uses special gelling chemicals to seal in odor and break down waste. No water needed, or go even simpler, waste disposal bags, the kind used in RVs or survival kits. You line a bucket or trash can with a heavy-duty bag, use it, then tie in a chemical gel that turns everything into a solid, odor-free lump. Sounds weird? Sure. But would you rather hike through snow to a neighbor's house at 2 a.m. in the freezing cold with no shoes? True story. My cousin did. Never again. I keep a bathroom emergency kit under my sink. Bucket, 5 bags, gloves, hand sanitizer, and a roll of wipes. It's not glamorous, but during a 3-day outage last winter, it saved us. My kids thought it was hilarious. My dog kept sniffing the bucket, but at least no one had to risk frostbite just to pee. And let's be real, when stores are closed, roads are icy, and supplies are low, you can't just run out to buy this stuff. And trust me, you don't want your first time dealing with human waste in a blackout to be during a blackout. This isn't about fear, it's about dignity. Being able to go when you need to without stress, stink, or shame. It's one of those things that seems extreme until you really need it. Then it's not just useful. It's essential. So yeah, it's gross. But so is stepping in frozen. Well, plan ahead. Your future self and your nose will thank you. Item 1. Cash in small bills. You're standing at the gas station, the power's out, but the generator's running, the line is long, the air is cold, and you finally make it to the front, only to hear those dreaded words, sorry, card machine's down, cash only. Your heart drops, you hand over your phone, can I Apple Pay? Nope, Venmo? Not working. And just like that, you walk out, empty-handed, frustrated, and realizing something most people forget. When the grid goes down, digital money goes dark. That's why cash, real, physical money, is your number one survival tool this winter. Not gold bars, not crypto, cold, crumpled dollar bills. But here's the trick. It has to be small bills. No one's going to break 100 when they're running a generator-powered convenience store during a storm. You need 5s, $10s, and 20s, enough to buy gas, grab a hot meal, pay for emergency supplies, or help a neighbor in need. I keep $200 in a small fireproof box in my closet, not hidden like a crime boss, but ready. I call it my winter war chest. Some goes toward gas, some to snacks, some to coffee for the guy with the snowblower who helped me last year. And it's not just about convenience. During major outages, ATMs fail. Banks close. Cell towers go down, taking Venmo and Zelle with them. In Texas during the 2021 freeze, people were trading water bottles for cash. In upstate New York last winter, a diner ran on cash only for 5 days, and those who had it ate. Those who didn't, they waited. Keep your cash dry, safe, and rotate it every few months so it doesn't get moldy or torn. And don't wait. Go to the bank now before the storm hits. Because when the lights are out, the roads are icy, and the world feels like it's on pause, a few small bills in your pocket might be the difference between getting by and getting stuck. There you have it. The 10 critical items you must have at home this winter, not because I'm trying to scare you, but because winter 2025 isn't playing by the rules. From wild temperature swings to surprise blackouts and supply shortages, this season is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable in decades. We started with comfort, long-lasting food that actually tastes good, and ended with cold, hard cash, because when the system shuts down, even the smallest bill can buy you safety, warmth, or a hot cup of coffee. These aren't extreme prepper tactics. They're simple, affordable, practical steps anyone can take, whether you're a busy parent, a college grad in an apartment, or someone who just hates being cold and helpless. And look, I know it's easy to put this off. I'll do it next week, but next week might be too late. Storms don't warn us, blackouts don't schedule themselves. Do this now, spend an hour this weekend, hit a store or order online, just start. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you already seen signs of this weird winter? Empty shelves at the grocery store? Can't find propane? Toilet paper disappearing again? Drop a comment below and tell me what you've noticed. Your experience could help someone else prepare. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button. It tells YouTube this kind of real practical info matters. Subscribe for more no drama, no fear-mongering tips that actually help you live better, whether the power's on or off. And share this with that one friend who still thinks winter prep means buying gloves in January. Stay warm, stay safe, and remember, the best time to get ready was yesterday. The second best time, right now. See you in the next one.